Hello everybody, and today is Friday, September 19th, 2008. Welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I now put in my 2 cents about movies. Now, as you might have noticed, I've changed locale again. I'm actually facing in the opposite direction that I was before, because one of my roommates has taken my spot. As you can see, say hi to Dom. Dom, this is everybody.
Hi everybody.
Anyway, so he's playing, what are you playing, Warhammer?
Yep.
Yeah, so the new Warhammer online game, he has confiscated what I used to use as my desk. So I'm actually using my actual desk now, and it was really messy, so I couldn't use it before. But anyway, so let's talk about some movies. Now, ever since I no longer work at the video store, I've been watching a lot of old movies, so all the movies that I've been watching are pretty much older than, I don't know, at least a few years old, except for maybe one of them, which came out a couple months ago, which I wanted to watch when it first came out, but I didn't get a chance to. So, big movies I'm going to go over today are The Core, 21, GreenStreetHooligans, The GreenMile, and I'll save the last one as a surprise. Only at this fella's insistence, because he borrowed the movie from his buddy. And anyway, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, so let's just start with The Core. The Core is this sci-fi action movie, and it stars Aaron Eckhart, Hilary Swank, and a bunch of other people I don't know, but it's pretty much about this group of people who drill deep down into the Earth to save the world because the Earth's core is slowing down, so they have to speed it back up. Now, overall, I thought that this movie itself was not that great as far as, like, premises and dialogue. Dialogue was utterly terrible. However, the execution of action scenes was actually not so bad, because it was fairly tense, pretty action-packed. But other than that, there's really no foundation, I feel, for this movie. So I would say The Core, it's pretty bad. Definitely don't recommend. Not really worth watching unless you're drinking or, you really like that sort of thing. So bad sci-fi movies, maybe you might want to think about it, but The Core, I definitely, yeah. So, alright, that's that. Next movie, 21. This movie came out, this is probably the most recent movie. This one came out on DVD like a few months ago. And it's based on the true life story of those MIT students who actually went to Las Vegas and card counted to make some money. And it's, I actually thought it was very good. I thought it was well done, great acting, great story. And, I don't know, it was overall pretty solid. The one thing I thought they could have done better, you could have definitely cut out a lot of miscellaneous scenes. I mean, character development was pretty good, but you definitely didn't need all of what they had in there. So, anyway, so Jim Sturgis, I've only seen him in, like, one other movie before. I think it was Across the Universe, or at least that's the only other one I remember him from. So he does an excellent job as pretty much the main character. And then the antagonist of the movie is actually somebody who is working for, or who's on their side. And that's Kevin Spacey. And of course he's a great actor. So he does a pretty good job. Definitely recommend. Great story development, great dialogue, not like The Core. And it's pretty much just a thriller suspense drama. So anyway, 21, definitely recommend. That was very good. And alright, moving on. GreenStreetHooligans. Alright, so this movie, for years I had heard good things about it, when I worked in the video store, but I never got a chance to watch it. So finally got it, and it was actually pretty interesting. GreenStreetHooligans, it's a movie about this kid who's a journalist, and he goes to the UK because he was expelled from Harvard. I'm not giving anything away because this happens in like the first 5 minutes. And he's expelled from Harvard for, certain reasons that aren't quite his fault. And he ends up meeting these people who kind of take him in, and they play football, i.e. soccer, but they call it football over there. So, and there are a lot of gang fights that kind of go on in underworld football. So it pretty much takes that character as someone who's kind of disjoint from that kind of culture and puts him in it, and kind of we see what happens to them. overall, it's pretty much just a drama. There's a lot of fighting. For the most part, it's very bloody and violent, so I don't recommend anybody who's really easy queasy with the whole blood or seeing painful body shots. Definitely not gonna put yourself through that if there's a lot of fighting. Let me just tell you. So that's Green Street Hooligans, but overall, very good story development. Loved it a lot. Definitely thought it was worth a watch. And yeah, so definitely thumbs up for Green Street Hooligans. Alright, so next movie I want to talk about is The Green Mile. Now this movie is a movie based on Stephen King's novel of the same name, The Green Mile. And it's pretty much about these guards who work in this prison where most of the prisoners are on death row. And pretty much as the story progresses, you find out that there's this prisoner named John Coffey who's accused of murdering 2 women. He's played by Michael Clark Duncan. A lot of big names in this movie. Tom Hanks, he plays the main prison guard. I feel is a great actor. He does a lot of different movie roles that pretty much bring out great acting. So I feel like he's a very good actor because he can show the different types of movies that he does. Like he can do some of the comedy movies, he can do the drama movies, he can do the movies where he is the main character by himself talking to a volleyball, but anyway, or a soccer ball, I forgot what it was. I haven't seen Castaway in like forever. But anyway, so another big face that I actually was excited to see, James Cromwell. I actually didn't know he was in the movie. He plays the warden. And pretty much the interaction, the character development is done very, very well. You pretty much really get to know all of the characters. Mr. Jingles, if you don't know who that is, watch the movie. Definitely worth a watch. And overall, I initially thought this was supposed to be like this thriller suspense drama, from all the crazy things that I've heard about it. But actually, as it turns out, I feel that it's more of a drama with some edginess to it and a little bit of sci-fi fantasy. I'm not sure exactly what everybody would classify it, but it is a Stephen King novel, so there's a little bit of that going on. But I thought that it subtly fit in, that it wasn't too overbearing except for like these 2 scenes. And other than that, I thought the movie was very well done. I thought it was pretty good, and definitely enjoyed it. So definitely recommend The Green Mile. If you're easily freaked out, probably don't go jumping and watching it, because there's some creepy parts to this movie. Also, most of the prisoners on death row eventually die via electric chair, and a couple of those scenes are actually pretty graphic, so if you get real easily grossed out, then I'd probably say watch yourself. But anyway, so that's The Green Mile. Definitely recommend. That was pretty good. Worth a watch. Alright, so now on to the surprise movie of the day. And this movie is called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. I was surprised that this movie exists at all, in all honesty. First of all, I don't even know what genre it's meant to be. It's definitely an independent movie. This movie is kind of actiony because there are a lot of fight scenes with some martial arts and some fake cuts and action scenes such. It's supposedly a horror movie just because there's a lot of vampires. And it's a musical. There's some song and dance. And it's utterly bad. And it's so bad that it's hilarious. So it's a comedy. And I don't even know how to describe it. Pretty much Jesus Christ comes out and gets a makeover and fights bad guys and then fights vampires. And at the end of the day, everybody sings and dances. That's pretty much the movie. Now, when you're watching this movie, it almost seems like it's like an a 70s or 80s type movie because of how it's shot and the style in which it looks and the quality of film. But just looking it up, I found out that it was actually made in 2001. Yeah, that was a terribly unpleasant surprise. I'm like, wow, no. This movie, you might get a couple laughs out of it, but it's pretty much not that good a movie. It's a really bad movie. I actually don't recommend anybody watch it. Maybe just to see it once. You might want to see it once, just to see A, how terribly bad it is, and B, just to know what I'm talking about, because, the movie's called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. So I've got nothing else to say about it. Dom, you got anything to say about Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter?
I recommend it to everyone, but it is probably the worst thing you'll ever see.
Yeah, no, just forget it. Alright, well, thanks for enjoying, or joining us on Enjoy the Movies. Sorry guys, I'm really tired, just, have a good night.